speed is like a huge element. So if you have speed, you can sometimes lean into that.
Is it harder or easier than it looks?
It's a lot harder than it looks because until you've been on the quad and you like get stuck behind equipment, you sometimes don't understand how hard it is to tag someone when they're like 5 inches away from you. There's like a lot of like little intricacies that kind of get overlooked until you start playing the game and you're like, oh, you almost get this like moment when you start to realize that it's not just like you go out there and you just chase. Um, that was kind of like one of the things that really captured me was I was I was interested in chase tag, but it wasn't until I played it that I had that moment and was like, oh wow, there's like it's basically like moving chess. If you know someone is weak on a certain side of the court, you might want to try to herd them over there. But most often, it's like catered towards the chaser and like how they personally like to try to tag. So like there's certain parts of the court that I'm like, if I can get them here and I'm positioned in this spot, I'm certain I can get a tag. And so it kind of comes down to like, okay, well, how do I get myself into that position and make sure that the opponent is also in the position I want them to be?
For the team, when you're talking about a team competition, is it better to have a good chaser or a good evader?
So that was one of our main focuses going into the last comps was we want a team of really good chasers. We didn't care too much about evading. Um, that kind of came secondary, and so we kind of leaned into our previous chase or speed parkour training for that side, but put most of our focus into like really good tagging. We figured if we had really a team of solid taggers, that there's almost no one that could like beat that.
So, like, out of every round, how often does somebody get caught? How often does somebody evade?
Think it's 24% is what they want for the tag ratio. So uh, ideally, 24% of the runs there'll be a tag, and they want to keep that number about around there because if it gets too high, then you lose the I guess like the crowd joy or like the like oh that was the play like to like rewind on. So like if there's tags happening or evasions happening like almost every round, then it almost loses its like pizzazz in that.
Is it a sport, though, where you can be good through reckless abandon? Like, if you're just willing to sacrifice your body, you will be good at this.
You won't be good at it for long. So if you are doing that, there's it like all the injuries will stack up very fast.
What essentially makes somebody good at it, right? Like, is it better to be fast? Is it better to be strong, agile?
Ideally, you would have a balance, but speed is like a huge element. So if you have speed, you can sometimes lean into that and kind of forego a lot of strategy. But if you're going against someone that has a lot of strategy, then they can use your speed against you. But I would say that speed is like probably the biggest skill that you'd not skill, but talent that you'd want to have. So speed, and then probably like crawling, being able to crawl, like be able to do that effectively. So a lot of the parkour QM movements, um, and then speed can translate to you jumping on top of things, but then you'd want to be able to have accuracy because like you're stepping on like a 2 inch bar, and so you want to be able to like if you are fast, you should be able to at least be accurate with those steps. So that's just kind of a little bit that's something that's like very different from track and field. Just take some time to kind of apply that speed onto like very narrow objects.
What animal would be best at this sport?
Ooh, best animal.
That's a tough one.
I want to say a monkey, but monkeys are not fast.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think a monkey would do good at it. Probably like a cat of some sort. So maybe like a jaguar or like like a leopard, something that can like because like those things can climb trees too and take falls. So I would imagine those things coming around the quad and being able to crawl underneath and like have that speed probably be pretty scary. I have like a small dog, and we would chase her around on the quad, and she would run around underneath all the bars and stuff. And we have like a small cat that would also play with her, and so we had like a dog and cat playing around on the quad. And watching the cat move is, yeah, I think that the cats would have a little bit more advantage.
That's what I was originally thinking would be like one of those little lemur monkeys. But then once you started talking, I thought maybe
Mm-hmm.
like a mountain lion. That would be scary as hell.
Yeah, like a bobcat.
Yeah. Ooh.